The confetti has fallen and the smoke is cleared. And after it all said and done, the Kansas City Chiefs are Super Bowl champs again. However you want to look at it, it was not an easy task, and the 49ers put up one hell of a fight. But in the end, it was the guy that was pushed aside in New York who came up with the final catch in overtime with just 3 seconds left on the clock. And with that catch, sending the Kansas City Chiefs full throttle into a dynasty. But they didn't do it for themselves. They did it for each other. Boy, I'm terrible at reading. The brother standing or lining up right next to them. They did it for number 58, the man who went to battle every week in the early 90s before he lost the battle with life. But most of all, they did it for Norma, who had never, ever missed a Super Bowl in 57 years. Make that 58, because we all know that she was there helping push those men past the breaking point to play just one more drive. The Chiefs are now the most hated. Boy, wow, what did I write? The Chiefs are now the most hated team in the NFL because they are that good. Even at their worst, they're still better than everyone's best team. So here's to you, Chiefs Kingdom, to your Derek Thomas, and most of all, here's to you, Norma Hunt. Back-to-back Super Bowls with a chance to do something no one else has ever done. The repeat. We are the Indiana Chiefs fans, and this is our last podcast of season number 2. With me, 3-time podcasting host, podcasting favorite. It is Chico Noise. 1-time wall painting fool, Phil Jordan. And of course, we couldn't end this season after winning 58 for 58 without bringing along the coach. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yep.
All right, Phil, you got a little write up there you want to talk about there?
Yeah, I figured I haven't done one all year, and I had some spare time today. I was so busy at work.
Could tell.
So yeah, some of it actually has a little bit of a theme to yours, but so here we go. So we finished the 2023 campaign as Super Bowl winners. Our team had ups and downs, drop passes, and the like that cost us a few crucial games. But a loss to the Raiders on Christmas Day was our turning point, and all I wanted for New Year's was to see the Chiefs in the playoffs. We made it to the playoffs, and we hosted the mighty Tua and Tyreek Hill in the Freezer Bowl. We came out hot and froze out the Dolphins for a win. Then we moved to Buffalo as underdogs, of course, because the Chiefs had never played a road game. It's like in the playoffs, like we don't play road games every fucking year. But all I got to say is Bills fans, wide right, Chiefs win. A lot of very sad Buffalo fans up there, but they're used to being disappointed, and we're used to winning. So now we're in another AFC championship game. For the first time, not at Arrowhead, but extending our streak of appearances to 6 every single year that Mahomes has been a starter. Once again, we're underdogs, counted out before the game started. But our defense came up big, and the offense did what we needed to win. Ultimately, Baltimore started out strong, but they couldn't run the ball in the second half, and they had to rely on the passing game, which we shut down. Chiefs win. Lamar's the MVP. He's sent home, and he says he's not watching the Super Bowl. He's probably crying in his Cheerios, I guess. Now comes the Super Bowl. Outmanned, underdogs, no chance of winning. in hell, but we fought a battle of heavyweights. The 49ers were a great adversary, but in overtime, we took the ball and we won. So McCall Hardman made the last touchdown. McCall Hardman didn't even realize that catch won the Super Bowl. Mahomes had to tell him. Once again, we defeated the mighty 49ers after being down 10 points. Deja vu, maybe, to the 49ers fans. Sorry. We come back and win in only the second overtime game ever and the longest Super Bowl in history, with the longest field goal ever in Super Bowl history. So you can say the Chiefs are underdogs. You can say we can't catch the ball. You can say we can't stop the run. You can say we're not as talented compared to our competition and can't win a road playoff game. You can post all over every social media that the Chiefs suck, but that's just a sign of our dominance. And at this point, it's just flattery. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that Derek Thomas, number 58, Super Bowl 58, was won in his memory. There we go.
Nice. Coach, I know you don't have anything prepared, but anything you'd like to say?
Not really. I'm still living on a high. A lot of people at work asked me why I wasn't jumping up and down when I got there. And I said, well, I want to be a gracious winner. Plus, we've been there before. We've done it 3 times now, and we are a dynasty.
Oh, yeah, dynasty. Chico.
I got nothing for you. I only got one thing to say.
Shoot.
How about those Chiefs?
Chiefs! Listen, we were never expected to win the Super Bowl. And you know as well as I do, going into the playoffs, I always root for my team. But man, I was concerned. They proved me wrong against Miami right out of the gate. And I never looked back again. Never. I never
yeah.
thought for a minute that we could take Josh Allen and put him in the corner, spank his little hiney, call it good, take Lamar, take his legs out. They did it. And then to turn around and put on one of the best Super Bowls that I think I've seen in quite a while.
Mhm.
It wasn't a blowout by any means. It went into overtime. And, you know, the 49ers, man, what an organization that they've, you know, what a team that they put together. And you got to really respect what they've done. And a ton of respect for Brock Purdy. Man, that guy in his second year in the Super Bowl, you know, playing at a high caliber, you know, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with coming into these next few seasons. And I'm not a 49ers fan, but I couldn't be prouder of Brock Purdy. And I look forward to seeing him do great things against other teams besides the Chiefs.
What did I say at the
thing-
end of that game? I said, see you next year, 49ers. 'Cause I
So
feel it.
the interesting thing about the 49ers is they're 3 million negative against the cap this year. So, I mean, I know we all have our own decisions to make, but at least we have 24 million, you know, positive. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, if they keep all their receivers or if they keep both running backs, you know, someone's got to go. So, and an interesting thing, when they mentioned the word dynasty, I was listening to NFL Network. A dynasty is a team that overcomes challenges, right? We got rid of Tyreek Hill. We still made it Super Bowl. You know, we had an up and down year. We still made it to the Super Bowl. And that's what proves a dynasty out, is being able to overcome obstacles, players leaving. And at the end of this season, we're not going to be able to keep everyone on our defense, guaranteed. You know, a good player is going to go somewhere else. And, you know, we're going to have to trust in Beach again, which I do. And I want to add one last thing. Man, who doesn't know in the modern era of the NFL, the overtime fucking rules.
Yeah, you should.
Dude, I was sitting there and I was like, man, I don't want the ball first. That was my inclination. And when the 49ers, he said, tails again, tails. We want the ball. I'm like, okay, we just won this game. That's exactly what I told Karen. I said, we won. She's like, what do you mean we won? I was like, because we know what we have to do. If we can stop them, we can go on fourth down the whole time and just rock and roll it. And Shanahan said that he thought it was going to come down to three possessions. I don't think that's true. I think they were just fucking lost.
Well,
Even their
Juszczyk-
players.
Juszczyk said he had no clue.
Yeah, the players didn't even know, where our players were highly coached on overtime rules. So I think
Except
that
for
lost the
Hardman.
game for him. Yeah, except for Hardman, yeah. But I think that lost the game for him, in my opinion, potentially.
Well, I was telling Gunner this on Monday. I said, I kept going, come on, Andy, we got 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And on NFL Network, Moving the Chains, they said, if you listen to the referee at the coin flip in the overtime, he says, this is a whole new game, starting of a
Yeah.
whole new game. And I was
Yep.
like, after they said that, I'm like, yeah. So if we wouldn't have scored
We would have flipped sides
when
of
we
the field.
did, we would have went into another quarter till we scored.
Correct.
So
Yep.
I didn't. I mean, I knew we had to score a touchdown, but it was just like I didn't put two and two together. I was like, "Come on, Andy, we gotta let's hustle, let's go."
Yeah,
That's about the
remember,
only
it's
time I got a little bit
nervous.
shaky on the yeah.
Yeah, I mean, each team, like they said, can possess the ball. So whether that goes in the one quarter, two quarters, whatever it might be, and then if we tied, then it goes into sudden death. So, and I think that's what they were counting on, that we'd get a field goal. But that's my opinion. I told Karen right then and there, we're going to win this game now. And our defense shut them down, gave them a field goal, and our offense just freaking rocked it. How about those Pat Mahomes runs in overtime? I mean,
Yeah.
just situational awareness, amazing.
I like the fact that they gave him the option. It's if he thought he could run it, run. If he could throw. So I mean, it wasn't his. Oh, I got to get out of the pocket and run. It was like, oh, I'm going right up the middle.
I'll be just like everyone else going in overtime. I was pacing in the kitchen. I was nervous, but man, it was awesome to watch us win again. I was speechless, I think, for a minute.
And I think all of us stood up at that exact moment where Hardman caught that ball, and everybody was just up. It was great, like instantaneous. Right when Pat threw the ball, not even when Hardman caught the ball. It was when Pat threw the ball, because you saw that play. You saw the fake motion and him roll out, and I was like, okay, that's over. We're stand straight.
You realize that's the same play they did last year.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because as soon as Hartman caught it, I just stood up. We're Super Bowl champs again.
Yep.
We're Super Bowl champs. My wife's going, did we just win? I'm like, yes, we just won. I said, we are Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, I had to tell Karen that we won, and she was happy. She doesn't follow NFL rules.
All I know is that when he made the catch, I jumped straight up, and I remember looking at Bobby, and she had that look on her face. It was the exact same look that when we won the AFC Championship, when we were out there with you guys in that really cold game against the Bengals. It was that look of that day was, are we going to the Super Bowl? Did that kick just send us to the Super Bowl? And the look on her face was exactly the same when I looked at her, was, we just won the Super Bowl. And, I don't care what anybody says, 3 Super Bowl wins in the last 5 years feels just as good as the first one did after 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know the exact order of this. I know I'm going to screw it up, but dynasties is, the word that keeps getting thrown around. There we go. Two analysts were going through dynasties, the Steelers, the Chiefs, now Patriots, and I can't remember the other two teams that had,
Cowboys.
oh
And
yeah, 49ers. Yeah, thank you. Those are your 5 or 6 dynasties. And, we fit the mold. And if we can three-peat, we're going to do something no one's ever done, with the exception of, if you count, which doesn't really count. I can't remember. Green Bay, I think it was, won the first 2 Super Bowls, but they won the championship prior to that, but that wasn't the Super Bowl at that point. So, in theory, I mean, actually, in the natural era of the Super Bowl, if we three-peat, we'll do something no one's ever done. And again, it's a long season. Anything can happen, but I'm for my Chiefs to do something that no one's ever done.
This was a long season, and anything could happen, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the draft at this point. If they don't keep Chris Jones, which it sounds like they are, just from the mannerisms I've heard from Reed and others, we need to draft another receiver or get one in free agency, something, reliable. We can't count on just Rice, and Travis. So that's high on my priority list, in my opinion. But in V we trust, he knows what he's doing.
Rumor has it that Pat has already said he's ready to restructure his contract in order to try to keep Snead and Jones in there. If we let MVS go, I heard that it's like 11 mil off of the cap.
Kick him in the
Um,
ass.
Plus, I think it's time for Sky Moore and Tony to hit the bricks. Allaire. Let's just go Allaire. We weren't going to keep him anyway. I mean, we're going to let him go to free agency.
Yeah.
Um,
And
we got
Crybaby.
Pacheco. I don't know, McKinnon's on the block too, isn't he? Did I read that McKinnon's on the contract list to
Yeah,
get
but
negotiated?
I think we'll keep him most likely if he's a good versatile back. Cardarius Tony's obviously getting his ass kicked out the door. He's already bad mouthing our team 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, he said he wasn't. He come back and claimed that it wasn't towards the Chief, it was towards the Giants or whatever. But we all know a little bit better than that. But
yeah, but
um,
I think he's gone, which is no big loss. Losing MBS, he caught 10 passes all year. I mean, whatever.
All crucial passes up.
I don't care.
mean, in the playoffs, he showed up. I mean,
Well, he had a couple catches a game. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it, but we need someone that's more dependable.
Oh, I agree. Well, my point is that we need to draft another wide receiver in the draft and go get one in free agency to go with Rice, to go with Kelsey. If we can keep Watson, great. I mean, I don't know what their contract with him is right at the moment, but I mean, he is a nice average, target to go after. He doesn't catch everything. I mean, I wouldn't sit here and tell you he's the best thing to ever come out of the wide receiving core, but he does a decent job. I've seen him come up with some really big catches. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't need 7 fucking wide receivers on the fucking roster. Let's get it down to 5 good ones, not 7 okay ones. Let's get somebody that can really balance out Pacheco so he's not getting beat up in all this runs. And somebody that'll work well with him and is kind of like him, and we can have that. And let's cinch up this defense, which has been fucking amazing this year. And maybe somebody to take over for Jawan Taylor. I'm just saying.
So if it wasn't Mahomes as the MVP, who would you guys have picked?
I think we
McDuffie.
talked about this, didn't we,
Bucker.
Chico?
Bucker.
But
Yeah.
but now that the game's been played, so that's why I just checking.
Yeah, I think I said Bucker when
Yeah.
we did say that.
I mean, I had like 3 or 4 names that I threw out. How about you, Coach?
I Bucker would be one. McDuffie. I mean,
That's true. McDuffie be good.
Yeah.
he playing Debo like he did, especially that one pass that was in the end zone, and he just went up
Batted it. Yeah.
and just batted it away. Jones, even though he didn't get a sack, man, he was pressuring Purdy that last in the overtime when he busted through and made him throw that ball early. I mean, even in the run game, he was making stops. I mean, it's like, oh, I'm going to ride your back, McCaffrey. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I would have maybe even given it to Kelsey for the second half. I mean, 8 for 92 yards.
Yeah.
But who's
I'm
throwing the
saying-
ball to him?
Yeah. I mean, look at Bucker. I mean, he had a record which he beat the record of the kicker from the 49ers that he just got. He also had over half of our points. I mean, just the fact that we can just put our trust in him and say, okay, yeah, go out there and kick it in the biggest game of the year, and he's been there for us all year. The only thing I wish is that he would have been perfect through the whole season. I know we've talked about that multiple times. It was weather and underinflated balls, and yeah, just the fact that he was able to clutch a lot of those moments for us last weekend.
So I would categorize him as a season MVP then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not necessarily Super Bowl, but obviously, but yeah, I'd say season MVP from, you called it, Gunner, when you said he'd be perfect. I mean, he's 2 kicks off of being perfect for the entire year. Didn't even get an invite to the Pro Bowl, which I find baffling that he beat every other kicker in the NFL in stats.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. But you know what? Pro Bowls don't matter. You know what wins? Super Bowl wins matters.
And I don't know. I don't know if Phil, did you listen to last week's thing? Last
Of
week's
course.
episode? Did you?
He didn't listen.
I said, of course. I didn't add the word "not yet."
Not yet. We talked about there's so much floating around about whether Mahomes is the GOAT. And I mean, the guy is amazing and he's done amazing things, 3 Super Bowl rings. But until he puts that 7th on, I think we need to take the GOAT thing off of the table and just let him do his thing and quit labeling it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I've posted in that awesome Facebook group that I joined. NFL is life. Because everyone hates the Chiefs there. And people were like, he's not the GOAT. And I wrote in there exactly what you said, Jeremy. Yeah, I mean, not verbatim, obviously, was what I thought. It's like, no, he's not the GOAT, but he's on his way.
Yeah.
He's breaking records. He's not the GOAT, but you got to give him his due, at the time we won 2 Super Bowls, in 4 years. I was like, and then after the Super Bowl, I went and followed up on my comments. And of course, all the haters were gone by then. That is 189,000 that are in that group. They stopped responding. But I tell you what, if he can three-peat, that's something Brady never did.
Yeah, that's very true.
So he's on track right now. I think he's ahead of where Brady was at 6 years in, I think, if I recall correctly. So, but again, he's not the GOAT. He is not. He's our GOAT for
absolutely.
our franchise,
right?
But he's not the NFL GOAT yet. Totally agree.
I think that if he stays on pace and stays healthy and does all the things that he should do, I think that there's no doubt that eventually he will earn that title. But as far as like everybody just going off about him being the GOAT now, I think it's too early.
Yep.
I think that we just need to take it off the table, let him go be the amazing athlete and quarterback that he is, and let's sit back and enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know, and I know Chico knows because he sat right beside me for the last 20 some years and watched this team just go from the highest of highs to lows and lows within
Yeah.
seasons and seasons. Enjoy this time now because the in another 10 years we're going to be where the Patriots are right now. you know
Hopefully not. Hopefully we pull Brett Favre to Rodgers kind of deal,
I
you
would
know.
definitely take that, but
Yeah.
But I will tell
Well,
you who is the GOAT, Jeremy.
this guy right
No.
here is
It's a
the coach.
no. It's Travis Kelce. He's beaten as far as tight ends go. He's a tight end GOAT. He's beaten every record that I know of. I mean, I'm sure there's some he hasn't, but he surpassed everybody on the tight end side of things. So in my opinion, from a tight end, he's the GOAT.
I think there's like maybe one or two Gonzalez's records that are just a hint bit out of his reach, unless he decides he wants to play another 10 years, I think is what they were talking about on New Heights or something to that
Ah,
effect. But
but
um,
if you compare him to like Gronk and all these other
listen,
people,
you look at his numbers, you look at his catches and playoff games and touchdowns and pass and Rice and Montana for,
yeah,
the Mahomes to him to Kelsey
duo,
catches.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Travis Kelsey is the best tight end to ever play the game. And honestly, I would have thought that there was a run between him and Gronk. I would have thought that, oh, maybe Gronk was a little bit better. But the only thing that Gronk has on Kelsey is
rings,
like one or two more rings.
yeah,
I mean, that's it. I mean, Kelsey has
yeah.
passed him in every other aspect of that game. And it's amazing.
yeah. I was just
Going
throwing that out.
going back to what you were saying about Patrick, I really like the fact that when he first came into the league, he wanted everybody to like him. You know, and now he's all about. They said you're now the villain. He says, I like that.
Yeah.
I embrace the villain. I like going into other people's stadiums and beating their teams. So it's I like the transformation that he's made. It's like, I want everybody to like me, but no, hey, I'm here to win. I'm not
Yep.
here to make you happy. I'm here to beat you, and I'm going to beat you down one way or the other. I'm going to beat you down.
We're gonna have to put out like a thing on Facebook that says, Patrick Mahomes, you need to pay for everybody's broken TVs from.
Yeah, someone posted that somewhere. They said, I wonder how many 49ers fans are buying new TVs.
A lot.
I
I've seen a lot of videos.
have you seen? I know I seen the one that was like an out. They were sitting outside in like a carport or whatever, and McCole catches that pass, and the guy stands up and he grabs one of those giant Jack Daniels bottles and just goes up and starts smashing the TV, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" He goes over and
So,
he slams the bottle down and sets down and goes, "Fuck."
well, like I said, we did a deja vu on them. We were down 10 points, just like the other Super Bowl. We came back and won.
Yeah.
It pisses you off. I'm happy that it could have turned out the other way. It didn't, thank God. But, you know, which, by the way, in Tracy's pool, Golden Jay,
Uh
I got the exact score, didn't even realize it.
huh.
We had a tie. She started basically a pool for the playoffs. Each week he had to pick. And I had 47 points, and the other guy had 61. And she's like, Phil was dead on. I'm like, son of a bitch! I could have made money in Vegas.
The extra one that I did with one of the groups at the hospital, I got my paper back this morning because obviously I took Monday off because I'm not doing that to myself again.
Mhm.
And I got in today and they handed me my paper and I was like, "Oh, how I do?" And I was like, out of the 10, I think I had 8. And the girl looked at me and goes, "Yeah, you lost on the tiebreaker score because I had 52." And I went and saw the girl who actually won. I said, "Congratulations." She goes, "Yeah, I had no idea. I just circled shit. I have no idea what the fuck I'm even doing." I'm like, "God damn it."
Well, I totally forgot about it until she texted me last night, said, "Hey, you won." I'm like, "Oh shit, I
Nice.
forgot about that."
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, Chico, do we have some stats from Super Bowl that we need to go over?
Oh, we've got stats from Super Bowl. We've got stats from the season. We've got stats on stats on stats.
I like it when we get stats on stats. On stats.
Hey, I got one other thing.
Yeah.
You know that Patrick threw for 333 yards
Yep.
Yeah.
at 33-33 Al Davis way.
Yep.
Did
Yep.
not know that.
There was a couple other things that went with that too, and I forgot what they were.
I heard it and I'm like, wait a minute. And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, okay, he won his third MVP award
Yep.
with 333 yards
Uh-huh.
at 33 Al Davis way.
It would have
Yep.
been better if he was 33 for 46. It's close.
No, the best part would have been if he would have thrown that touchdown with 13 seconds left on the clock. Boom.
Oh, wasn't there 3 seconds
There
left?
was 3 seconds left on the clock. I think that was the other one, Coach. There was 3
There you
seconds
go.
left on the clock. All right, Gunner, walk us through it, buddy.
Let's see. Super Bowl 58, Chiefs versus Niners. Final score was 25-22 in overtime. Coach took that one really close, 27-21.
Nice.
Patrick Mahomes threw for 325. Yeah, 325 yards.
It wasn't 333 yards?
Well, see, that's what's weird on the stats here. He has yards 333, but then it's 325 underneath that. So
It's probably his sacks.
it's probably, yeah, they probably subtract that out. So we'll make that 333, but it doesn't change who won that.
That's fair. Absolutely fair.
Yeah, I took that one. It was 321. He had 2 touchdowns. We all, except for Chief, took a point there. Kelsey had 93 yards. Golden Jay took that with his magical 87. He had no touchdowns.
Yeah,
we all
that
took
hurt a
with
little bit.
1. Yeah. Pacheco and Allaire. Pacheco had 59. Allaire had 0. I took both of those. It was a lot lower than expected. Touchdowns 0 and 0. So we all kind of split up some points there. Receivers, most yards was Hardman.
Was it really?
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had that 50-yard catch.
Nice.
He had
At
50,
least.
57 as long as 52. So he had the long catch and then a couple of shorties. See, longest play was 52. Hardman took that one with 43. Defense, 0 interceptions, 1 sack. We kind of split that one up all over the place also. Most sacks, Karlaftis and Reed both had a half sack. We had 1 total. Which would be Karlaftis for Chief and Golden Jay. Butker did not miss. Taylor was there. Leaving the total for the week 9, 6, 9, and 8. And Golden Jay took it. And for the playoffs, 40, 25, 37, 33. And I was going through this, I was like, well, do I give Phil his 10 point before
It
missing that
doesn't
week?
matter.
And it didn't
That
matter.
would have still lost.
Seriously?
Congrats, Golden Jay.
That's the playoffs.
Yay.
That's just the playoffs, though. Who won the regular
Playoffs?
season? Seriously? Seriously?
I think
Who's making these commercials?
I took the regular season. Okay, so there's week 1. Yeah, it was 139, 130, 162.
Next year.
Right on.
Next
Next year.
Congrats.
You sound like a Cubs fan.
There's always next year.
Well, at least we don't sound like the old Chiefs fans. That's all I can say. No, we did it this year.
But
Oh,
overall, defensive battle was absolutely amazing to watch the defenses battle each other out. Brock Purdy, like you said earlier, I think Brock Purdy has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I also think that it's possible that he could just burn out and you won't see him again. Depends on what they do in the offseason, what they're going to have to do. But like I said, after the game was over, I said, well, maybe we'll see you again next year, 49ers. So I think it could go either way for them.
They are the favorite for Super Bowl 59.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I like being the
Yeah.
underdog.
I like the haters to hate us.
Which is
Yep.
crazy to me that
Yeah.
a team just repeated and you're not going to make them the favorite with
Well,
potentially the same team we had pretty much going back the next year.
yeah, that was the first time since Mahomes' first 3 games of his start of that, when he became a starter, that he was the underdog 3 games in a row.
Yep.
And he, former, league MVP the year before, MVP of the Super Bowl, and they just, nah, they're gonna beat you. I was like, I listened to all the pre games, and I'm just waiting for him to. I'm like, haters are gonna hate.
hate.
What happened to your screen there, Gunner, for the
I'll bring it
season
back up.
results?
I'll bring it back up.
Bless you.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll bring it back up. I was just closing some stuff out so I could clean it back up. So
Oh, close the porn windows.
yeah, it's kind of overwhelming sometimes.
On the cock.
Next time.
Isn't that
on
wait?
the
Is that not where
cock.
you guys watch your porn?
On the cock?
Only on the cock.
Only on the cock.
Hey, that should be a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We can make that
Indiana
happen.
Chiefs fan podcast.
Only on the cock.
The
Let me write that down because I'll forget.
He's gonna do it.
And I will buy one.
I would say if I make this, you got to make sure you buy one.
I will buy one. And I'll wear it to work.
I do have
Yeah,
a question
yeah.
before we get into these season predictions. Did the Chiefs announce their MVPs that we know of? I don't think they did.
Not yet.
Okay, so we don't have an answer for those at the very moment. But
But we have Andy Reid coming back.
Yep.
all right, regular season final
me
record predictions. We did all this back in first episode. Was this the first episode of the?
I think it was
season
pretty
two?
close,
Oh,
yeah.
close
Yeah.
to. So we went 11-6 this year. Golden Jay had 15-2. I had 17-0. Chief had 16-1, and Coach had 15-2. So I don't know how we'll do points on this. I'll tally it all up later. But if we go by closest, it would be Golden Jay and Coach, both with
Yep.
15-2 there. What teams will we lose to? We lost to the Lions, Broncos, Eagles, Packers, Bills, and Raiders. So let's see. Coach took Chargers and Bills. Oh no, sorry, not Chargers. Coach took Bills. Chief took Bills. Golden Jay took Bills. So I'll have to figure that one out.
Man, I was kind of high on his touchdowns.
Little.
Yeah, Mahomes had 27 touchdowns, but Chief the closest at 33. He had 14 interceptions. Golden
Look
Jay
at you,
hit that
Golden
one
Jay.
right on the money. His total yards 4,183. We all went for the big bucks on that one. Chief had him over 6,000. So Golden Jay will take that one of 51-20. Will he be MVP again for the league? Nope. And somehow Lamar Jackson managed to take that one. Kelsey only had 5 touchdowns this season.
Jesus.
So Chief took that one with 12. He had 984 yards. He was not over 1,000. Chief will take that one with 1024. Pacheco had 7 total touchdowns. So we all split that one really close. So right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
He had 935 yards. Golden Jay will take that one. Defense, total sacks, 57.
He did-
Um,
oh.
So,
Oh, no, coach.
Boy, I went low, didn't I?
I'll take
Coach,
that
oh,
one.
yeah.
By
Yeah.
beat Coach by 1 on that one. He tried to one up me on that. Total number of interceptions, we had 8. Chief took that one with 9. Pick sixes. If they have 10, Coach gets a point. Then everyone. So I think we had 0 pick sixes this year. So I'll take a point for that one. Total number. This is where it's crazy. Total number of forced fumbles, 16 and 2 for a touchdown.
Nice.
Golden Jay, 16 and 2 for a touchdown.
Hey, I had 2 for a touchdown.
You did. Yep. But that
Damn.
right on the money.
Take me to Vegas, baby.
Yeah. Will KC host the AFC Championship game again this year? We did not. Will
But
KC win
Chief
the
did
Super
say
Bowl?
Chief did say it was the 6th annual, though.
Yeah, it was 6th annual.
Yep.
I think that was 6th annual at home.
I
But
think
I'll
so.
give
Yeah.
him, I might give him the point just because. I mean,
Right.
technically we all said that. But will we win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yes. Who will we play?
There we
Everybody had
go.
49ers.
The Niners. And Chief said Philly. 49ers get knocked out divisional round 1.
I think you need to take away 1 point because he said that.
Total number of
Holy
team
crap.
touchdowns, 39. Coach had 98. Closest we had there was 62. So, offensive player of the year, we will know eventually. Defense, and the same thing here. Rookie, their defensive player of the year. We come down here to Sky Moore. I don't know why we chose Sky Moore.
'Cause
Yeah,
we're
total of-
we all thought that he was gonna be the
believed
next
him.
big thing. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, 277 yards,
touchdowns, 1.
1 touchdown.
Oh God.
So I
Well, at least
will.
that's over, Mike.
907? What? Did I get into the corporate gummies or something?
You must have something weird happened. So yeah, there's
That was
all
fun.
that. I'll
That
go
was
back
fun
through.
to review, though.
It is. It's fun to go back and see what we thought.
Oh, I love this. I love this. I love that I called that what did I say, 16-2? 16 and 2 for a tutty. 2 for tutties. Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least I didn't put down what I said. 6 for turn for a touchdown and all by Bolton.
Oh, there's the best part right there. Right there. Who will be KC's offensive player of the year? And you still might be on that with Butker, but the not gonna miss. The not gonna miss is the thing that we have stuck with this entire season and just rooted for that to be the ultimate goal. And I know he only missed 2, but man, what an amazing season he's had.
Yep.
And we're so lucky to have him.
Led the team in the points. Was consistent pretty much all year.
You might even have the defensive player of the year.
With
Too,
Snead?
Chico.
Could
Yeah.
be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be him or McDuffie.
Yeah. guess
I
we'll
was
see.
feeling good about Brian Cook until he busted his ankle up.
So yeah. Good stuff.
I wanted Bolton until he hurt his wrist.
Oh, and wearing that big ass cast.
Yeah. Now, that's one thing I want to kind of discuss, though, on that 49ers. Because I thought the officiating was really good.
He was.
I thought there was some very good officiating. But on that touchdown in the first half by the 49ers, and they threw that back to McCaffrey, and Bolton gets picked off by the blocker. That's a penalty right there. Because they're not allowed to block until the guy catches the ball.
Yeah, that, and they had person beyond 1 yard downfield.
Yeah, because Boomer even said that in the halftime. He goes, "Well, that was an illegal man downfield."
Yeah.
But overall, I give kudos to that reffing, the refs on the Super Bowl team. I think they did a good job. I'm sure they missed calls against us.
They did. There were a
vice
lot
versa,
of
so-
holds both ways.
Yeah.
Well,
But if
have
you
you
let,
have you guys seen the screenshot of Hardman's final catch where they say that the one of our offensive linemen
yeah,
was down at the goal line, which was too far to for him to be. I mean, I didn't see it in time by any means, but I mean, you can take a screenshot of anything, I suppose, and find a penalty in it. But I just thought
well,
that was interesting.
I think they let them play.
They did,
They called the obvious ones, for the most part, in my opinion. And I think each team was penalized somewhat evenly, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. So it wasn't, 30% Chiefs and 70% 49ers. So.
right. Oh, I about lost my shit on that fucking horse collar one. I'm like, there's no fucking way that's a horse collar. There's no way. And then they showed the review. I was like, son of a bitch.
I knew it was. He grabbed his nameplate.
It looked like he had more from the what I was looking at. It looked like a more shoulder, but like I said, when you go
Yeah.
back and watch it, in slow mo and like closer camera, you get a better view of it. But
And that, like when
crazy.
Conley clotheslined Ricky James on that, I was like,
Ah.
wait, that's a clothesline. Then they replay it, and he literally has him by the arm and takes
Yeah.
him down. I'm like, okay, it wasn't a clothesline.
We are great armchair referees, ain't we?
We are.
Yes, we are.
We're the best. We're the best.
Why are we here?
Penalty on everybody.
Why are we here? Because we're the best of the best of the best, sir.
That's right.
What movie is that from?
I have no idea.
Oh, Gardner probably knows it.
I've heard the line. I can't think of what it is.
Men in Black, when they're there to
Oh,
take
there you
the
go.
test.
Oh, that's a good
And
movie.
And he grabs that eggshell thing and
And pulls it. Yep.
Why'd you shoot the little girl?
Oh, the other guy's just hanging out with his books, having fun.
He's out here working out. Yeah. This girl can't read all that.
Sorry, we're gonna go into your other podcast here in a second.
There we go. And now on the call, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach, give me a really bad opinion about something, and we'll call you Colton.
Juan coach for 3.
One coach.
I'm not going to get Colton on Colton's bad side.
Good man.
The next time I get on the call, guys, don't you be putting my name in your mouth.
Well, believe me, it's too much fun not to just try to get on that side. Throw snowballs if you must, but it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I've been looking for this for most of the podcast, and I finally found it. We talked about Mahomes and those runs, late in the game and in the overtime, and when he does that, and they were talking about, he made the call. It was his choice to take the ball and run with it. I could only think of one thing, and I had to get the quote. I had to get the quote right, from The Replacements when the coach is talking to Falco and he says, winners always want the ball with the game on the line.
Yep.
And that's all I could think about when Mahomes took off up the field and, just done what needed to be done to get those first downs and to get, I really thought in that one run he was going for the end zone. I think if he'd have had one more blocker in front of him, I think he would have just jammed it in right there and been done with it.
And he wasn't going down. That one he did slide, but the other ones he was like, I'm going for it. I'm just.
Yep.
It was. I'm like, please, Pat, just go down. We need you. Please. But
so, what do you guys think? Do we try to restructure Blaine Gabbert's contract and bring him back, or do we go find a different backup quarterback? Do you think that he's good enough to stick around? Is he going to be Chad Henne caliber?
No.
I don't know.
I'll tell you who I'd like to see us get. I think
Tom
he's
Brady?
a free agent. That would not be what I'm thinking. I wouldn't mind seeing us get Minshew.
Oh,
Gardner Minshew.
He done well for the Colts this year.
He really doesn't mind being on the bench. Come in when I have to come in, and he's gonna win games for you if you need him to. But
yeah,
how often do we really need our backup in? Oh, we're blowing you out. We're going to throw our backup in. But every time I think of somebody we can get other than Gabbert, it's like it goes back to Minshew.
Right.
Or Trubinsky's now available. We could go get him. And
No, no,
Hey,
no.
you know, with the proper coaching and a team that can make something of Trubisky, you never know. I don't know that he's not Mahomes caliber. I'm not even sure he's Blaine Gabbert caliber, but you know, what could you do if you coach this guy up and get him a proper fucking team to play for?
Well, use them like they do that Saints backup quarterback, whatever the hell his name is. Make him a rusher and a pass receiver plus
is that is
quarterback.
that is that
Hill,
Hill? Yeah.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, because he's a big guy, you know.
But I don't think we would go after like a Trubinsky because I don't think him and Nagy could get along.
Nagy won't
But
be there.
our biggest
Oh.
off-season acquisition that we need to make.
Eric Bieniemy.
Thank you.
Yep. I was just gonna say that. I was like, Eric the enemy's back. I mean, come on.
There's talk. They're looking.
No, he's already been back and gave pep talks to the team.
Yeah.
I mean, the offense. So I think the writing's on the wall. But shame on the Washington Commanders for not giving this coaching staff but 1 year. I mean, that's pathetic. You know, just sad. You know, I hate to see it. You know, much as I want Eric the enemy back. You know,
What Emperor's thinking? We talked about this last week.
You know, if you'd only listened to the
Shut the
podcast you
pie
weren't on, you would know. Coach, did you listen last week?
Yes, I did.
And what do you agree or disagree with what I said?
I agree 100%. I mean, to me, what is wrong with him? There's nothing wrong with Eric Bieniemy, and nobody's given this guy a chance other than us. You know, they said he probably won't become, if we do bring him back, he will not be our offensive coordinator. He'll be the assistant coach. That's what he'll be. He'll be
waiting
Andy's. He'll be like maybe head coach in waiting when Andy decides, hey, I'm out.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I just don't understand what if Washington did interview him for the head coach job. I don't know, but that guy just brings it. I mean, you know, Patrick said it, and so does I think Kelce said it too, that he holds everybody accountable for everything you do. And I think if we had him this year, those receivers, those games that we dropped those balls, those guys would have been. We're going right after the game to get on the jugs, and I'm just throwing them at 100 miles an hour at you. You're just going to catch until you are bleeding.
Yep.
I mean, that's just Eric Bieniemy. I mean, I'll take him. I want him back. We can get, you know, somebody asked me about Nagy. I said, oh, Patrick's personal water boy. Is that what you're saying?
God, don't let Colton hear you say that.
Oh, hey, speaking of, I had to step away because somebody's ears were ringing. So Colton says, "Suck it, Emperor." And Coach,
I was gonna say that earlier. Suck it, Colton, but I was gonna be nice.
And that's why I didn't say it, because I didn't want to put Colton's name in my mouth.
And he said he said that if anything ever bad happens, he'll just bring Bill over, then knock on your door. You'll be all right.
For me?
Yep.
Oh crap! I love you, Colton.
Oh my God, here we go.
I looked down and
blackmail.
I looked down, his name was on my phone, and I was like, "That's odd."
Yeah, I don't want to mess with his dad. I used to work for his dad, so I don't. No, I'm good.
Oh yeah, there's a whole nother thing that we could spend hours mulling over is what the hell is wrong with Chicago and what can they do to fix it?
Who
and
cares?
you know,
Fuck Chicago.
Well, you know, they're an NFL team. I mean, just because they're not the Chiefs.
Hey, I told you the only way to fix that team is a McCaskey dies. I'm being honest.
I don't think that Bears fans disagree with you.
I
I
mean, it
mean,
was the same thing with the Blackhawks, whoever the owner was, until that person died. They weren't allowed to be on TV. And then once that person died, they redid the team, won 3 championships, in like 5 or 6 years. And, it's all about the owners down. I mean,
Yep.
there's no other way to put it. And I
well,
think the McCaskies are too cheap. They hold it's like a Jerry Jones, right? Jerry Jones says what's goes on his team. I think same thing for the Bears. They had 98 million in cap space last year. Why the hell didn't they spend it? Because they knew they were going to suck. So why spend money?
well, and they're debating right now whether they're going to draft a quarterback. I mean, I don't think Fields is horrible. I agree with when you say somebody give him a good coaching, that kid could be good. I mean, even better than what when he runs and stuff. But they're talking about going after the kid from USC. I mean, I'm sitting there going, draft a receiver, and then when you get to number 9, draft your tackle, and you got your 2 offense, and then just fill in the roster.
Right. Yeah, the biggest concern up there is the fact that he doesn't have time to do anything but run the ball. And when he's not necessarily a running slash passing, quarterback. He needs to have time to make a smart decision, and his offensive line is not giving it to him. But I was talking to somebody today about this. The Bears are notorious for ruining quarterbacks' careers. They get good draft picks, they get good quarterbacks coming out of college that could potentially go on to be great, and they ruin their careers because they don't spend any money, and these guys are not protected, and they're just getting the shit kicked out of them. And Trubisky's one of them. I think if Trubisky could have been coached up from the moment he got in the NFL, he could have been a good quarterback. Maybe not a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be an elite quarterback, but I think he had a lot of talent, and I think it got ruined by being drafted by Chicago. And I still say if Matt Nagy would have been the head coach a year prior to when he actually got the job, Patrick Mahomes would have been in Chicago because Nagy was instrumental on getting him in Kansas City. And at this point, hindsight's, you can look at it however you want to look at it, but would the Bears have ruined Patrick Mahomes?
100%.
So there you go. A lot of little things to think about.
Things that make you go, So who was it that ran into a tree at a party? After a party. I think
Jason.
it was Jason Kelsey ran into a tree at
Oh,
one
he
of his-
walked into a tree.
or walked into it.
Yeah, I think he walked into it. Did you guys see him at the after party? Did you see
Him in his mask.
the mask and those bibs and
Nacho
Nacho
Libre,
Libre?
whatever. He's a nut, man.
That guy is living his best life, isn't he?
I used to think that Kelsey was the nutty one. I'm now beginning to rethink this whole that Jason's the nutty one.
Oh,
But hey, I got to give kudos to Kelsey, man. Viva Las Vegas. Come on. And then who was the guy? I can't remember his name. Jim Nance, whatever. Had to bait him into singing "You Got to Fight for Your Right." But I was dying and listening to Kelsey do Viva Las Vegas, and they're panning over to Taylor, and she's just like, whatever. Let him do what he's gonna do. But I give him credit, man. He belted that out, and
Viva. Yeah, he definitely does. All I know is they panned over to Taylor, and I thought, you know what she's thinking right now? You are not singing on my next album.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, I thought that was cool. He went outside his comfort zone with Viva Las Vegas.
Right on.
Oh, did you hear that Reed called Davis, whatever his name is, the son? I don't remember what his name is. And told him, "Thank you. You have a beautiful facility. We enjoyed using it."
No, did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wow.
He was complimentary, because we had the Raiders locker room because
Right.
we were the home team. So
Yeah, I saw that meme where it was like, "Hey, imagine this: the Kansas City Chiefs are celebrating a Super Bowl victory in the Raiders locker."
See, I
So
thought I
when
read that they put them in um, the college locker room that's over there.
no, it was in the Raiders locker room, was my
Okay.
understanding, but I could be wrong. Again, we are not totally right on the show all the time.
Not
But
100%.
but I
I
did,
know,
but
right?
Andy did call and say thank you, and that is our AFC West stadium anyway. We have not lost in that stadium, by the way.
Oh, still haven't
Because
lost in that stadium.
yeah, exactly. So it's like home field advantage. But I tell you what, I give kudos to whoever came up with the design of that stadium and the ability to make the outside spear just look like anything you want.
Oh
It's
yeah.
badass. I mean, it's badass.
Well, the spear you're talking about, the spear that's not the stadium, but the
Yeah,
spear.
the spear.
Yeah.
Sorry, the spear. Whoever came up with that was just badass.
How would you guys like to watch U2 perform inside the spear?
No, I
down
hate you
on the
too.
They're
floor.
gonna say, "How do you like to watch the cock on the spear?"
How do you watch? How do you? How do you watch Indiana Chiefs fans? On
There you
Dude,
the
go.
cock.
I was fucking just get on your thing and YouTube. We're watching YouTube and there's the four of us up on the fucking cock. I mean the spear.
That's
Oh.
too funny.
Once
All right.
again,
Any closing notes? Yeah, any closing statements for season 2 finale of Indiana Chiefs fans? Who'd like to go first?
I'd like to say I enjoyed all the time we spent together this year. I know we took some weeks off here and there for different reasons, but I really enjoy hanging out, talking with my friends, making this show possible by just being a total hack. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, I've had a good time this year. It's been a little bit more interesting than the last couple or last year, I guess, because of the season itself. But I mean, yeah, like Phil said, it's always fun to sit down and just talk about the team we love. So
I've enjoyed every time I've been on here. Uh, once again, I want to thank Gunner and Golden Jay for making it possible that I get to actually watch the game in Kansas City. That was,
yeah, that
like
was
I said,
week
that
three. That was
was
week 3.
yeah, week 3, and but it was like I said, it's right up there with my marriage and my kids being born. And it was kind of funny though when they put Clark on the stand for the get the Lombardi. I'm like, I looked at my wife. Hey, I met him, and I didn't call him Lamar.
I'm gonna say Lamar, Lamar.
Oh, well, gentlemen, I have enjoyed season 2. We've definitely had our ups and downs. We've definitely had our right and wrong opinions. Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to season 3. I think that there you go, season 3 and a three-peat. I mean, I don't think that you can go wrong with those two things together.
No.
Um, there are some things that are going to change. As with any good business, we have to kind of keep growing. And with the Golden Mojo Entertainment, we are going to be making some changes. Obviously, we are going to be making changes with the Murdnerds. They're, Ashley and Alicia are not coming back. Golden Jay's taking over. We'll get into more of that on the actual Murdnerds of how we're going to make that happen. I foresee Golden Image Podcast making a few changes too. But some of the biggest changes are going to come to the RSS feed of the Indiana Chiefs fans. The Indiana Chiefs fans will be back for season 3, and we will release on Thursdays like we always do. But we are going to open this up to be more of a sports podcast and not just all Chiefs all the time. So we've got some ideas. There are a lot of things that are going to change before the beginning of the NFL season next year. You may start getting some new content coming at you over the summer. I'm still trying to get everything worked out. There's still a lot of moving pieces, but Indy, yeah, exactly. It's like fucking Tetris on acid is all I'm going to say. Indiana Chiefs fans is definitely going to be back, but it's going to be more of one show of multiple shows that are going to be on this RSS feed. We probably will change the headlining name, but this podcast, with the three of us and Coach, when he gets a chance to get on, will be still the Indiana Chiefs fans podcast. It'll just be amidst a couple of others that focus on sports, and so we can try to grow in the sports community a little bit more. But should be exciting. I'm excited to see what's coming. It definitely is a lot on my plate and a lot on my mind right now. And just so you guys know, I appreciate everything you guys have done for season 2. I can't thank Chico enough for all the editing and the posting and all that stuff he does. Chief, I'm happy that you get here at least 87% of the time.
87, I love it.
And Coach, you're always welcome on here. I was thinking about it yesterday. I meant to text Chico yesterday and invite you. I'm sorry for the late notice, but I could not imagine talking about Super Bowl 58 without number 58's all-time biggest fan and in the amazing job that Derek Thomas did for the Chiefs and how much we fucking miss him. As a player and as somebody that was in the Kansas City community that did a lot of work and what's the old saying, taken too soon. And yeah. So yeah, I couldn't imagine doing 58 without you, buddy. So
Thank you.
and also I meant what I said in my opening. We could not have gotten this far without Norma Hunt's just her presence, and she was there. She knows shit that she was out there helping Chris Jones get through those last couple drives because of how spent he was. Even Andy talked about how gassed he was in today's interview on online, that he just mustered it up to get back out there to get the job done. And that's a little piece of Norma out there helping push along. And for somebody who has never missed a Super Bowl, I don't think she missed this one. So, yeah, to Norma.
The normal.
To Mama Hunt.
All right, boys, let's wrap this up and get out of here. Golden Jay has, he needs a nap.
Come on.
All right. So until next season, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody who tunes in every week to listen to our infamous babble as we go on and on and on. We so much appreciate all of our listeners. Go check out the merch store. Let's get some of those. Run Angry Indiana Chiefs fan shirts out the door. You know you want one. You know you
have
do.
one.
I know you have one. You're the only one I know that has one right now. And all the other cool stuff that's on the merch store from all the podcasts in the Golden Mojo Empire. I just have one question for you guys. From our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, how about those Chiefs later
and double cheeseburgers
with the pickle?
He was asked about that, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm having a double cheeseburger after the Super Bowl."
Damn straight.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?